up, everybody? Finally, me and Logan are finally doing it. We're doing the Diary of a Wimpy Kid ranking.
That's right.
And we're just going to go over the books to see what we think about a 10. And we're not including any of Charlie Jefferson stories. And we're not including this. Number one, this isn't a Wimpy Kid really book. This is the original, but it's a special edition. But hey,
at least it's signed.
That's a plus. And we are starting, no particular order, but we're starting with the one that started it all. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, a classic. I feel like this has everything.
A lot of people may call this Diary of a Wimpy Kid the cheese touch, but it's just Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yeah, this book is relatable. It's so good, but I wish it was longer. I do really wish it was longer.
But since it's the book that started it all, first of all, this book is my favorite in the series because it feels like, because it's all about him in school and him facing his problems like rally, like it's just so Wimpy Kid.
Yeah, but I'm gonna give this book a 9.75. It is just missing that one thing. It's just missing that one thing. And I can't put my finger on it. I just have to give it a 9.75. There's only one book that goes over this.
I have to give it 10.
A 10? I do get to give it a 9.75.
And the next book is Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules.
And I just said there's only one book that I think is better than the original, and it's this one. This book is so good. I love it. And since I'm not in middle school, I get this book is relatable. I still get it in elementary school.
I'm in middle school.
Yeah, but I'm more relatable with this book because I have to deal with this dude.
What are you talking about?
This book is my favorite in the series. It's my favorite movie. And the Diary of a Kid series is my favorite book. I think this is an easy 10 out of 10. I think Roderick is my favorite character, so I think that's why. So, 9.75, 10. What do you think, Logan?
I'll give it a 9.
9? So we're opposites.
All right, the next coming up is the third one, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Last Straw.
And a thing I've always liked about this book, and it's a thing that one of our favorite Wimpy Kid creators like about this book, that I agree, that it focuses on the dad.
Yeah.
And look at him. On every book, he's pushed to the side.
Yeah, he's kind of in the back.
But in this book, my boy the dad is right in the front center.
And that's what I like. But one thing I don't like is that they show us a pic of Greg getting a new girlfriend, but we get no mention of her.
We never see her again.
We never really see her again.
And it was to set up to Dog Days, but then they introduced Holly Hills. But this is only good for the dad, but when the dad's not there, it's just, yeah, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I feel like that's perfect for this book.
I'll give it a 6.
A 6? Damn, I like The Last Straw, but when they don't do with the dad, it's just like, it's alright.
All right, coming in next, number 4, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dog Days.
A thing I love about this book, a thing I personally love about this book, is the summer vibe. Summer is my favorite season, and Dog Days is focused on his summer vacation. So I'm looking out there.
And one thing I like about this book is that we get to hear Greg's perspective on how he really feels about summer vacation. Because in this book, his parents are begging him to go outside, but instead, he just wants to sit in his room and play video games and be covered with the blanket. And honestly, that sounds okay to me, but if it's summertime, I'd much rather be outside as well.
So I give this book a 7 out of 10, Last Straw. I'm giving this an 8. Dog Days is good to me. I think it's really good.
I think it's really good too, so I'm going to give it a 7.
7. You know what? I'm agreeing with you. The Last Straw is a 6. Because when they take out the dad, it's not that good. So I'm going to give this a 7.
All right, and coming up next, book number 5, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Ugly Truth.
And as I said in the last video, I personally do like The Ugly Truth. I like how how he's getting older and he's trying to figure out new friends. But the biggest holdback from this book is that Jeff Kenny didn't go deep into getting older because clearly he wanted to do more books.
What my favorite part of this book is the Peachy Breeze moments, like when he's signing up to be the newest member of Peachy Breeze, and I love how they share the feelings of the dad. We all know how the dad hates little cutie, but Greg reveals that the dad hates Peachy Breeze more than little cutie. He says every time he sees a Peachy Breeze commercial, he goes and writes a mean letter to the Peachy Breeze company, and they just give him their products.
But I'm gonna give this book a 7 out of 10. Actually, I'm gonna give it a 7. I think this book is better overall, but I'm gonna give this a 7. Do you agree?
Yep, and with this book, I'm gonna give it a 8.
8. Whoa, some light.
All right, coming up next.
And I have to say something about this story that's very important.
Number 6, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Cabin Fever.
This is my 3rd favorite book in the series. I love the snowy aspect. Just like in Dog Days, I love the summer aspect. I love the snowy aspect of the book. I love how the dad's not there because they just hate the dad. So if you're not going to put him in there, he's not there. And my favorite thing about this book is the doll. But my probably favorite thing is because in every book, the dad's always like, "You're okay, Greg, you can make it." But in this book, he does not have his dad to tell them that. And it's really cool to see how the family has to do it on his own. And Manny, screw you.
And one thing I really like about this book, and you see how in a lot of books, they kind of mention how certain moments in certain books are based around Christmas time. This book is fully based upon Christmas. That's why the movie is called Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Christmas Cabin Fever, which I like because it's basically all about Christmas, which I love.
So the original book, I give it 9.75. I'm giving this book a 9. This book is so good, but the original is better in my opinion. I feel like I rate these perfectly so far. What do you think about this book? What would you give this?
I'd give it a 8.
An 8. I personally have a lot of nostalgia for this book because it's like one of the first books I had read in the series.
All right, now let's get into one of my personal favorites and one of his least. We got number 7, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Third Wheel.
The reason why I don't like this book is because in every book, yeah, Greg has a crush on a girl, but he would not go out of his way like this. And one of our favorite YouTubers in Diary of a Kid said this too. It's unlike Greg's character. I feel like I'm watching Manny growing up.
Yeah.
Because it does not feel like Greg. And then at the end, like in Dog Days when him and hold hands, Holly Hills, he deserved it. But in this book, when Riley took his girl, I don't care. Because he's a jerk throughout
Let
this
me
book.
say something about the third wheel. I get why it's called the third wheel. I don't care about Greg getting involved with girls and stuff in that kind of concept. My favorite part of the book is the beginning and the middle where they focus on how Greg became the way he is. And like they talk about how Greg was when he was a baby and how he had to, how his mom pushed him from preschool and they pushed him to kindergarten and then he went back to preschool. I think that is so relatable to Greg's character though. So I'm going to give this book a 9.
Hell no!
I'm giving this a 9 just because you hate it, I like it. It's a 9.
No. This book is not that good. Like I said, they build up Greg's character. It feels like Greg and then they ruin it. I'm giving this book and can't go any higher than a 5.75. That's why I feel about this one. I'm gonna third wheel your butt out of this video.
All right, and now let's get into my third favorite Diary of a Wimpy Kid book, and this is book number 8, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Hard Luck.
My least favorite part about this book is the witch. Like what they do with the witch. It's kind of funny.
Now
I like how Riley has a girlfriend and he has to balance if he wants to hang out with his girlfriend or Greg. I think that's a very relatable thing for people going throughout the story. I like the Magic 8 Ball. I'm giving this book a good 7.
Now, I absolutely love this book because it shows how much Greg is jealous of Riley, completely ignoring him, and that Riley's so focused on Abigail, of course, the girl he's dating, and that Greg has to find some other friends while his boy Riley has a girl. I feel like if they are willing to make another Wimpy Kid movie, I feel like that they should really make a Hard Luck movie, because that's a movie I would really like to see.
The reason why I gave it a 7 is because I'm gonna give it an 8, but we've seen the Riley and Greg getting new friends before, like in the original book. So, like, it's not like, oh, come on. It's like, oh, we're reading the same thing again. So that's why I would put it an 8, but I can't.
This is gonna shock you. I'm giving this book a 10. A 10. That's
We
right.
have different tastes. I hate this one.
All right.
Hi.
Book number 9, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The
Long
Long Haul.
The book. We're not talking about the movie, but I'm going to be talking about that. Shout out to the guy who like, the Long Haul beats the brakes off the movie. It breaks them. Get it? Breaks. I personally like The Long Haul. It's the first book that focuses on a road trip. It doesn't copy. I'm looking at you, D-pad.
One thing I like about this book is what is written on the back, because it actually has a really good quote on the back. It says here, a family road trip is supposed to be a lot of fun, unless, of course, you're the Heffleys. And
So
I guess that makes sense.
I'm going to give this book a 7.
I'm going to give this book a solid 6. I'm going to give it a 6, but I do really like this book.
I'm putting like every book at 7. I feel like I'm putting like every book at 7.
All right, and now let's get into also on one that I also really like, Diary of a Wimpy Kid number 10, Old School.
I have to tell them about something. You always talk about all the originals and all the ones. Old School gets no credit. It is probably the most unique book in this whole series.
Yeah.
I love the aspect about no internet and they have to use the old school sources, no pun intended.
It
and
feels
they have
like
to go outside.
it feels like they're going back in time, like to
It's
the.
so good.
It feels like that they're have multiple ways of going. Like feels like they're going into a portal, like to 3 places: the past, the present, and the future.
So I'm giving this book an 8.
Me
And
too.
And I feel like it's an 8. I'm giving these books a lot of 7, 8s, 9s, but I think this book deserves a good 8.
All right.
And give it a chance if you haven't read
And
it.
now let's show them. Let's rank it. Number 11, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Double Down.
Now, can I tell you something about this book? I am not the biggest fan of this book. Yes, Wimpy Kid doesn't have a good plot, but this book just pees on it. And Learning has like 30 different stories.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Riley's 3rd book. And I like the movie aspect. That's a really cool idea. He always says he wants to be rich and famous, and he's actually trying it. But the thing is, we're not real and we're a movie. Come on.
But like Greg Heffley is thinking, like, is my life really real, or is it all just a movie? Because this book is really mostly all about the making of a movie. Kind of similar to the movie Diary, but just a lot different.
So I gave the 3rd wheel a 5.75. No, 5. I'm giving this book a 5.75.
I'm going to give this book Out of 10, 5.
The only reason why I give it a 5.75 is because I do really like the movie aspect, but it's the same thing. They do a movie, something goes wrong. That's why it holds back. Double down, okay.
All right, and now let's get into the more controversial pick on this list, because a lot of people saying that this is their favorite Wimpy Kid book, but let's let you hear it from our perspective. Number 12, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Getaway.
And I have to say something about the story. This book, and I feel like it does great. The Long Haul, I think it has a better story overall with like going on a trip. But I feel like this book's so much more funnier.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny, like man, he dropped his stuffed animal and he stopped the whole escalator.
And like how their plane trip keeps getting delayed because of this, because of that, and they also get like lost.
And then Greg was trying to dry his socks with the power drift, and then it went in the urinal, and he had like the fish
It
out.
also took place around Christmas time. This book kind of reminds me of Home Alone 2. Because
yes, it does.
It
yeah.
takes place around Christmas time. They're on a trip, but they get lost. It kind of reminds me of Home Alone 2.
And they're trying to abandon Christmas. What? So I'm giving this book. This might surprise you. I'm giving this book an 8.
Okay.
It's like a copy of the Log Hall.
But better.
I feel like I gave the Log Hall a 7.
I think so.
I give it a 7.75, I believe. If I did it, that's what I agree. But I feel like this book just is funnier, and that's why I think it's just a step higher than the Log Hall. But I always think of this, the Log Hall Part 2. If you don't think that, that's what I think. And I think it's better than the Log Hall.
All right. And now let's get into number 13, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Meltdown. And fun fact, you guys, there is actually a poster for Diary of a Wimpy Kid in here that I don't think I ever took out. But there's a poster of Wimpy Kid in this book.
Oh, don't want to rip it, Logan.
I might display that on my wall. Did you ever notice that?
Yeah, but how do you get it out? Sorry, guys, we're having some...
Yeah, I got it. All right, let's show it. Let me open it.
Oh. Yo!
Look at that.
We're putting that on our wall.
Yeah, but let's get into the book.
This book, when it came out, people were saying this is the best book. And
again, it's focused on winter.
Put your guns up. I love this book because I know I've been saying this and you might get mad. I feel like it's a part 2 to Cabin Fever.
Really?
And I feel like this book has the best ending in the series. I love the thing of, and I love the cover, by the way. I love the thing about the big freaking snowball fighting that. I think this is a top 2 ending in the series. I love this book. I love it. And I would give it an 8. I feel like, stop that. I'm giving it an 8.7. No, I think an 8 is good. That ending cares so much. If that ending was an end, I'll give it like a 5. But the ending is so good. I just love the ending.
One thing I like about this book is how Greg mentions that many people think summer is the best time of year. He says, yeah, everyone except for me. But yeah, I'll get this book 7. Yeah, we got a duplicate.
Wait,
one
do we have the poster?
No, I took that one out.
Oh.
One was for me and one was for my other brother. And now, let's get into Diary of a Wimpy Kid, number 14, Wrecking Ball.
And I actually like this book, but there's one serious problem that puts this book back. My favorite thing about the Wimpy Kid series is it's relatable. When is your little brother that's 3 and doesn't even know how to go to the bathroom, him building a house, and then
There's
he goes...
actually a picture of it on the back.
And then he goes freaking rampage mode and knocks down the house. But I would give this book, I'm going to take the bias out of my head, and I'm giving it a 7.
Now, one thing before I get into the book, I want to mention how different and how amazing the cover looks. Because Up until Double Down, there was only like one basic color, and then he got a little more creative. But look at this. It is construction themed. It barely even looks like a journal.
Damn,
anymore.
Greg? Okay, Jeff Kenny. You're really thinking a middle schooler drew this? Bro's freaking Picasso over here.
Yeah, but like this book to me is number 2 in my opinion, just because of the yard sale and how they went to the wrong
What'd you give it?
and how they went to the wrong funeral. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Okay, we have to hurry this up. It's 20 minutes.
All right, now let's get into Diary of a Wimpy Kid, number 15, The Deep End.
This is my second least favorite book in the
Your
series.
second least favorite.
Because The Getaway was better than Long Haul. And then they just copied it. I feel like I cannot defend this book. And what did I get the hard wheel? 5? That's my least one so far. I actually do not like it. I hate The Deep End more. I feel like I'm giving this book a 4.
I would too. Now,
It's not really that good.
before you bite our heads off, fun fact, if you're wondering why we're not ranking number 16, is because I actually haven't even read number 16 yet.
Wait, what?
The Big Shot, because let's just get one thing straight here. The plot of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Greg in Sports, that just sucks. Like Greg in Sports, that just sucks.
Because I think it's Cabin Fever when he's swimming and he hates it.
Yeah, and I don't like how his dad is always forcing him to do sports. Like, let the kid live his own life.
And we're not ranking the madness, the big mess, because we haven't read it yet.
I read parts of it, and it's so far really good. But now, let's get into Diary of a Wimpy Kid, number 18. Oh, wait, no, wait.
Diaper overload.
I was going to show No Brainer. Number 17, Diaper Overload. I was actually so excited when the plot was announced to be Loaded Diaper themed. I was like, it's a direct sequel to Roger Gould. They're going to focus on Loaded Diaper. Let's go. I was so excited.
I was so excited because I thought it was going to be a Loaded Diaper part 2. And this is the only book in the franchise, I'm going to call it franchise, not series, well, he looks like he's having fun.
Because look, let me show them an example. Ever since the first release, on the cover, Greg is either miserable or frowning. On this cover, it actually looks like he's having a good time.
And my least favorite part about this book is they don't give us any more details about Roger.
Yeah.
I feel like what they should have focused on, you know that guy, I forgot his name, that went into the band and Roger Rules?
Bill?
Yeah, Bill. I felt like the story should have been that Gregor places Bill in Loaded Diaper. Or I'm sorry, Loaded Dipper.
One thing I like about this book, my favorite part, is how they have a contest where they put their hand on the van, and the last person to have it that has their hand on it gets to keep it. And I think either Greg or Roger won. I think it was Roger.
I would give this book a 6.75.
Me too. All right, and now let's get into the last one on this list, and it's honestly kind of a kicker, but let's get into it. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, number 18, No Brainer.
I read the Hot Mess.
Oh, look at the design.
I love the feeling of this book, but I read the Hot Mess. It is actually so far really good
It
for
is.
what I read. No Brainer. It doesn't add anything. I feel like it's just like Jeff Kenny.
Let me discuss it. Mind if I discuss it?
Sure. Whatever.
Now, fun
Sure,
fact,
whatever.
you guys. Yeah, this book is also signed by Jeff Kenny because I actually got this at Wimpy Kid
The
Bookstore.
same place that I got my special Daryl Bickett.
All right, now the thing that I really like about this book is that Greg discusses what would it be like if your brain left your head and that you could spend the rest of your day without it. But the best part to me in this book is the battle for those like ice cream bars in the cafeteria. Like when they when they stopped selling the ice cream bars, the kids went on this serious rampage to bring them back. Like it was like the Montgomery bus boycott, but it was like a wimpy kid. I thought that was perfect.
It reminded me of the Ugly Truth a little bit with the Peachy Breeze commercial, but this time it's the ice cream bars. I'm gonna give this book. I love the cover with all the messages. I'm gonna give this book. I haven't really read it. I read like, right to the end. I will give this book a 5.
I would also give it a 5.
I feel like so far the Hot Mess beats the crap out of this.
All right, guys. So finally,
What do you want to rank? Do you want to rank what we've read in the Hot Mess? Yeah?
So far in the Hot Mess, it's basically one thing I really like is that we have never really seen this in a Diary of a Wimpy Kid book before, but this is a story about basically the whole entire Heffley family, not just Greg, not just Roderick, not just Manny, not the dad, not mom, but it's about Greg's grandma, his aunts, his uncles, his cousins. Like they all go on this trip because they want to give their grandma something for their birthday, but she said the only thing I want for my birthday is for you guys to take a pic on vacation, and they're also fighting. Kind of feels like a SpongeBob vibe.
No, you know what it reminds me of? And we just talked about it. It reminds me of the no-brainer with the ice cream bars, but with the meatballs. And
they're trying to steal the secret recipe. It's kind of like Plankton. I want to steal Grandma's secret meatball recipe, and it always makes me think of that when I think of Hot Mess.
And so I'm excited for the new book. The cover's fire. I hope it's a classic. Shout out to Jeff Kenny, because one guy said, I hope it's good because the last 6 suck, and Jeff Kenny, but it'll be slightly worse.
He left a comment on that guy's video.
Yeah, but no, a random dude. And if you like this video, please make sure to subscribe.
Finally, we did our ranking.
Our longest video.
All right, guys.
Please watch.
If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And please leave in the comment below your Diary of a Wimpy Kid book rankings. Let us know in the comments below. And yeah, we are out, man.
And if you are the first one to comment, we promise we will see your comment sometime, and me and Logan will have a full-on conversation with you in the comment section, and we will also heart your comment. Please get us to 1,000 subs. We're out, man. Peace.